This is Matthew Hatchett, a.k.a. Hatch, and you are now listening to the One Bar and Lupagus Show.
All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lupagus Show. I'm One Bar with Lupagus, and today we're going to be talking about some players that might tickle the Vikings fancy enough to hop back up in the round two. Snap up.
Yeah, the Vikings don't have that second-round pick after dealing it for Yannick Ngakoue. They got 6 games out of that trade.
6 great games.
He did lead the team in sacks. They did get their third-round pick back. So they have like 2/3, 3/4, maybe 4 if they get that comp pick everybody's expecting. So there's some ammunition to move up if a player the Vikings absolutely love is sitting there in round 2. So I wouldn't be one bit hurt if they, package a 3rd and 4th, maybe 2 fours, and got up there and got someone who they feel can make an impact in 2021.
Yeah, I mean, really, depending on how far they go up, it would probably take away their second-round pick next year. Depends on where they're going, but you're right. We'll have a plethora of thirds, and these are just some players that kind of pique our interest. It's more position-wise, but the reason I think this is on the table is that the Vikings are still in win now mode. They're not building. Zimmer's here, Spielman's here, Kirk Cousins. We still got some very key players here. So I could see them just retooling. This might actually be the year the Vikings trade up instead of down.
Yeah, I don't feel like they need to have 15 draft picks. They need to have impact players. And like you said, this is it. It's win now, because I don't know if Zimmer will be having another draft or not. It depends how he finishes this year. So he's got to make this one count for sure.
Making it count. A great line from the Titanic.
Is that before it sank or after?
Before, to making it count. All right, let's do this. Before we get into it, subscribe to the channel, like the videos, hashtag sauce at 2,500 subs.
We're getting there. We're getting close. It's a slow climb.
It's a slow climb, but it's worth it.
It is. It is. Laura, let's hop right into this. Let's do it with a guy we both love. We've loved him since pretty much December, right around Christmas. I think he is going to be a round 2 pick. He hurt his knee again in that championship game, was limping off the field. But you take this guy, I think you insert him in your lineup day one at one of the guard spots, and he's going to stay there for the next 10 years. It's Ohio State guard Wyatt Davis. Big, physical. He can move pretty well for a guy his size. Vikings have to find some help at the guard position. I do not want to see them wait like they did last year until the very last pick before they took a true guard. I don't want them to take one in round 1. I made that very clear too, but I think that round 2, round 3 range is where you're going to find a guard for the Vikings. And Wyatt Davis, we moved up in round 2 and got him. I'll be very, very excited about that.
Yeah, Wyatt Davis, we know he plays nasty. He's mean. We love everything about him. It's surprising how far he has kind of fallen since a couple months ago when he was a surefire top 10 pick. And I don't think that really has to do with his injury. I think it's just, I don't know, maybe the love for him was more than it should have been. But if he's around in round 2 and they're getting like pick 40, 41, 42, I would be all for hopping up to get him because he is a day 1 starter, and it would help wash that gross taste out of our mouth for the last guard we took from Ohio State.
It certainly would do that. And that's, I think what you said is key there. He starts falling that 40 range, where the price tag gets to be a little bit less, you're not giving up future picks to go up there and get this guy. So, to me, the medical on this guy is going to be the big thing. I think, he's had history before that with his leg or knee, whatever the hell it is, and he hurt it again. That has to check out, because if it doesn't, he might be there in round 3 or round 4.
Yeah, and the Vikings might even be looking to they might even package Drew Samia in on this trade just to entice that suitor.
Wow.
All right, Wyatt Davis. We knew he was going to be on the list. Who else you got?
Well, we talked about him a little bit in a video before, but Boogie Basham, Carlos Basham Jr. from Wake Forest, your favorite school to find defensive help. This guy has been super productive in his career, 19.5 career sacks, 33.5 tackles for a loss. You got to watch him. He's like a viper in the grass. He kind of waits, reads the play, and then he attacks, and he attacks mean. He attacks so hard. He grabs guys. He slams them to the turf. He is not nice, but I do like his patience and then the way he closes in a hurry. If you don't take a defensive end in round 1, I think you trade up and get a guy like Boogie Basham who could potentially start for us next year.
Yeah, 6'5", 285, career 19.5 sacks. The only thing that worries me about him is he seems to be all about power. Like, he just overpowers you. He's not going to get fancy with his beautiful pass rushing moves that you see from some of these other slick guys, and the power might not work as well as it did in college at the pro level. So round 2, absolutely. I'm not saying I don't want this guy, but that does scare me a little bit. But depending on where we go round 1, and this has to do with all the picks we're going to mention. I mean, if we don't go defensive end in round 1, I'd be game.
Would you call him the boogeyman?
I'd call him the boogeyman.
No way I'm going to get any sleep tonight now after that noise.
All right, next up, my boy, wide receiver, Rondale Moore from Purdue. Just a little feller, but man, he does it all. 5'9". Anything you read on this guy, if it doesn't say Swiss Army knife in the first 3 sentences, they're not trying hard enough, because that seems to be the thing they're right. Return specialists, they have fun with this guy all over the place. And he's been very productive at Purdue. And I think he would be a wonderful guy to throw in the slot right away and then eventually be our number 2.
Well, what I like about him, you go back and look at his stats. The last time he played a full season, he had 114 receptions. So that to me is extremely, extremely impressive. Like you said, he can return kicks. He didn't do it last year, but he can return kicks and punts. He's done it both. So maybe you take this guy, like you said, slot receiver, then you got your return man filling 2 roles at once. Great speed, explosive ability. So Rondale Moore would make a lot of sense in this receiving core. And we've already mentioned it a lot. I mean, receiver is a pretty decent need on the Vikings. Doesn't appear to be at first blush, but you dig in a little bit farther. Chad Beebe's he's a free agent. BC Johnson, who knows what his future is going to be. If the Vikings do bring in a free agent, everybody's talking about Keelan Cole right now. So if they were to make that move and get a guy like Rondale Moore, I don't know if there's room on the roster for BC Johnson. We'll see how that shakes out. But yeah, I would be all for this pick. And he would be a player who I think you get enough production out of year 1. We're trading that pick to move up and get him would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, and this will be another one that comes down to his medicals. He could be a guy that falls down the board because teams are just scared off by that, or go way earlier than you think. He's all over the place.
Hell yeah, so am I. All right, let's talk about a safety that I love. And again, I love every safety. I haven't found one I don't like. And this could be anybody. You could really insert any. You could insert Andre Cisco here. The Vikings fall in love with a safety. I can see them moving up and taking one in round 2. They're going to probably be looking for a starter. Anthony Harris, I can't see him coming back. And I don't know. The Vikings just don't have a ton of money to go spend on a guy who's going to be a quality starter for you. Look at last year. Anton Winfield Jr. coming in, playing well. Jeremy Chin coming in, playing well. You can find starters in the NFL draft. And I think this guy, Richie Grant from UCF, is that guy. Long, lean. He can come up and hit. He's got great ball skills. He broke up 17 passes in his career, 10 career interceptions. Very, very intelligent, reads plays well, diagnoses where they're going, knows when to break on a ball. To me, Richie Grant just screams starting material. Put him next to Harrison Smith, and that would be very nice.
10 picks in the last 3 seasons, good size. And the reason I love me some Richie is what you said. He's a ball hawk. I want a ball hawk and safety. Anytime in the draft, when I see a guy where it just says he's got great ball skills, he always knows where the ball is, and his interceptions back it up, I instantly get a hard on for him. So Richie, I got a hard on for you. Congratulations. I should make a reward and send it to him.
Do a cock mold.
That'll be it won't take many stamps to mail that.
Well, you'll be in prison afterwards. So
yes, Richie Grant. Richie Grant. He's another guy. Man, he could go earlier than expected too.
Yeah.
All these safeties are all just in that conglomeration of talent.
So many good ones. It's clumped together like a Sunday morning dump.
That's not mine aren't clumped together. All right, final. And this is a little bit out there, but quarterback from Florida, Kyle Trask. If he's there, and this would be one that would just be hanging out probably closer to the end of round 2 where the value is just too much. You keep giving me this very perplexed look.
I was going to joke and say he's not on my list.
Oh, well, he's on our list, and he's a developmental guy. This is why it's kind of the perfect situation. It's not like he's going to come in and start. He could be a guy that hangs out behind Kirk Cousins for however long he's here. And like I said, this would have to be one at the end of round 2 where we just get really antsy.
Yeah, I think that's the key. If you're thinking about this guy with your first, I think, was it pick 73 we have, and he starts falling toward the ass end of round 2, and you really want him, you think he could be the future, you think he can be your backup next year, and has some growth potential to be a starter down the road, yeah, then you move up and get him. I mean, you got to love his production. 43 touchdowns last year to 8 interceptions, 4,283 passing yards. He's 6'5". He's got great size. Good arm, but, you know, sometimes the decision-making is very questionable, and his accuracy isn't always there either. We've seen him kind of have some meltdown moments where he just throws pick after pick. So, yeah, I think you take this guy, and there's going to be a pretty sizable grooming period where you want him to get up to task, and you got to get Trask up to task. Let's just say that right now.
Hey.
Yeah, that's good. So, I mean, but as far as the quarterbacks are left, I mean, I think Kyle Trask is the one that has the most upside. So if the Vikings do want to go that route, upgrade the backup position, and then have a guy who does have some potential to maybe be the starter down the road, Kyle Trask is your man. Yeah,
Trask, it seems like he's kind of like a mutt. He's kind of good at a little bit of everything, but not overly great. He's just a big old mixture of talent and things to be scared of. But the reason that Trask is on our list is after him, you get into the really, really more developmental guys that aren't even close. I mean, where you Kellen Monds, the Newmans, and stuff like that. So this would be their all in as far as somebody they actually want to groom sooner than later, I think. And after that, they might as well just hang out and grab somebody. Yeah, I mean, if you don't do it here and you wait, until, you're just going to be doing what the Vikings always do, waiting until round 7 to get a quarterback who really doesn't have any upside, or wait until after the draft. And I don't think anybody wants to see them do that again. So that's why I wouldn't have a problem with this. If you think Kyle Trask can work in your system with the weapons you have, then move up and get them. God damn it. All right. Well, there's our guys. Those are the players we would have no issues with trading up. Let us know down in the comments a round 2 guy that you would like to trade up for. Hell yeah. Don't forget hashtag sauce. And here's a little fact maybe your wife needs to pay attention to. Don't let her ever move to Texas, because in Texas, it's illegal to own more than 6 dildos.